Star Trek. Strange New Worlds' scary Season 3 Gorn twist gets hilarious response from actor. Few threats in the Star Trek universe have undergone a glow-up quite as dramatic and terrifying as the Gorn. Once remembered for their slow-moving, almost campy debut in Star Trek, the original series, the reptilian antagonists have been reborn in Star Trek Strange New Worlds as something far more sinister. With Season 3 promising to push their horror elements even further, fans are bracing for nightmare fuel. But amid all the tension, one cast member has delivered a response so unexpected. It's left fans laughing just as much as they're screaming. The Gorn of Strange New Worlds are no longer lumbering creatures in rubber suits. They are swift, merciless, and deeply unsettling, closer to sci-fi horror icons than their retro origins. Their Season 2 appearances already lean heavily into suspense and survival horror, drawing comparisons to franchises like Alien. Now, with Season 3 teasing an even darker twist involving their biology and hunting methods, anticipation has turned into delicious dread. Yet not everyone is losing sleep over it, at least not publicly. During a recent panel appearance, Anson Mount, who plays Captain Christopher Pike, was asked about the increasingly horrifying direction of the Gorn storyline. His response? A perfectly timed comedic deflection that immediately broke the tension. "Oh, they're terrifying," Mount said with mock seriousness. "Absolutely horrifying. I mean, I personally requested fewer night shoots because I kept scaring myself in the mirror afterward." The audience erupted. It was the kind of humor that only works when it comes from someone deeply embedded in the material, someone who understands just how far the show has pushed the Gorn from their origins. Mount's delivery didn't undercut the horror. Instead, it highlighted just how effective it has become. And he didn't stop there. When pressed further about the new twist in Season 3, Mount leaned into the absurdity. "Let's just say," he teased, "if you thought you understood how Gorn reproduce, you didn't. And honestly, I wish I still didn't." That line alone has sent fans spiraling into speculation. The Gorn have already been portrayed as having a disturbingly aggressive life cycle, with elements that evoke parasitic horror. If Season 3 is taking that even further, it could mark one of the darkest narrative turns in modern Star Trek. But Mount's humor serves an important purpose. It reminds audiences that even as Strange New Worlds experiments with tone, blending classic optimism with modern intensity, it hasn't lost the franchise's signature sense of playfulness. This balance is something Star Trek has always excelled at. From the philosophical musings of Spock to the swashbuckling charm of James T. Kirk, the series has never been afraid to mix gravity with levity. In many ways, Mount's response feels like a continuation of that tradition. Behind the scenes, however, the cast has acknowledged that the Gorn storyline is among the most physically and emotionally demanding arcs they've tackled. The intense pacing, the claustrophobic settings, and the ever-present threat of sudden violence create a filming environment that's a far cry from the more diplomatic episodes of earlier Star Trek iterations. That's part of what makes Mount's jokes land so well. They're a pressure valve, not just for the audience, but for the cast themselves. Other actors have reportedly joined in on the fun, trading stories about accidentally startling each other on set or jokingly,